Smart Speaking Podcast. I'm your host, Godzilla Gad.
It's your boy Mike, better known as Booby. And we bringing something different today. We're gonna, special edition, we're gonna sit here and talk about, as you can see, we got a panel of HBCU students and PWI students. So we're gonna get their perspective on what's the difference between, predominantly black schools, HBCU schools, and the PWI. So we're gonna ask them questions and let them have the floor. But before we get started, we're gonna give y'all a slogan. You may not always be right, you may not always be wrong.
But y'all gonna get a modest opinion of what we're speaking on.
And on that note, we're gonna let each one of them individuals out here, all the young ladies out here, give their name and what school they go to. So who can go first?
I'm Morgan. I go to Johnson & Wales University. I'm sorry, I go to University of North Carolina at Greensboro.
I'm Cassidy. I'm Booby's daughter, and I go to Winston-Salem State University. Go Rams!
I'm Brianna. I currently go to UNC Charlotte. Well, actually, no. I previously went to UNC Charlotte, and this semester I'll be going to North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University.
Thank you, Brianna.
My name is Asia, and I currently attend Howard University, the real HU. Thank you very much.
Okay. So the first question, let's go ahead and just get it out there. The ones that go to HBCU schools, what's the pros and what's the cons of going to an HBCU school, in your opinion, and then what's the con? So the ones who go to HBCU, this is for y'all. We're going to ask you a question next. So what's the pros and the cons from going to HBCU since you in Howard? Let's start with you, Asia.
Yeah.
One of the pros is definitely the community. Like going to school, being a part of a rigorous academic process, and being surrounded by people that look like me, absolutely a benefit. It's a bonus. I never have to feel like a minority. I never have to feel like, I'm out of place. It's really a community in terms of, looking around and never feeling like I'm alone or not going through the same things. That's the pro.
Okay, so for going to Winston, the pros and the cons, I definitely agree that's a pro. Like being around, people in your same community. I always feel like I'm hanging around family. That's the slogan down in Winston. We're a family. So I always feel like everybody around me, we just getting down with the same kind of groove. Everybody, we don't have to know each other, but as soon as we see each other, we can smile, we can say, hey, there's certain things that as a black community, we just get when it comes to each other. And being together, when we do that, it's just an entirely different experience. One of the cons, I know from my school, Howard is a huge university, when it comes to HBCUs, but Winston, we're a little itty bitty one. We don't get a lot of funding from the government, compared to like PWI schools or the bigger institutions like A&T or Howard. So when it comes to our money, we're a little short and we have to make up for it, or we don't, reap the same benefits of the schools.
So now the same question for you all that go to PWIs, and y'all can start however you want to. Same question.
Well, I go to an MSI, which is a minority service institution. Please trust. Trust. Anyway, just to put that out there. Okay? Yeah. But I don't think, at my school, I don't ever feel out of place or anything. Cause y'all go to, HBCUs, my bad. But HBCUs, I don't ever feel out of place. There's a lot of black kids who go to our schools, a lot of minorities. I don't ever feel like, oh my God, I see more white people than I see black people. It's everybody's there. I don't really have no cons. I love my school.
That's good.
Definitely a con is the diversity for me. I like a little mixture of everything, but there is a wide population of black people, so I think that makes it a little better. But the diversity overall. A con, like Cassidy was saying, even as a PWI, we don't really get that much funding. Well, let me not say all PWI. Let me make that clear. Johnson & Wales University. So it's but I think that brings in our creative side as well, thinking of things that we can do when someone else is not giving it to us. So I definitely think that's a con and a pro in a way.
Brianna?
I would definitely say one of the pros of UNC Charlotte is the support, academic-wise. There are so many different resources that you could take, if you're not doing well in classes, you can go to these resources, go ahead and get help. And they're always emailing you, trying to see if you need anything. So I can say the support is really nice. But a con is, the diversity. Even though UNC Charlotte is a very big school and it's very diverse, I was in my band class and I was the only black girl. And I've never experienced that ever in my life, considering I've done band since I was in middle school. So I would say that's definitely an issue, and just trying to find your people. But I can say once you do find your select friends, it makes up for it.
You got it.
Yeah, I got a question. I know my daughter, she goes to A&T. So I'm gonna ask you ladies this right here. Dating. If you are dating.
Oh, so you just went from one end to the other.
I'm getting to
Hold on, time. Hold on. Listen, I get it.
No.
So you're gonna start on one end, you're gonna go all.
You going to the
So
real
you
deal.
was on empty, now you're gonna put on fuel.
Yeah,
So that's what you're doing
right now.
Okay.
So
You jumping in.
We're
Okay.
gonna go to the real
I know
deal.
my
So,
next
I know how you are.
you know what I'm saying? When parents are around, it's a little different. You know, you got your little areas where you hide a lot of stuff from your parents and this and that. But once you get away from your parents, you out on these big campuses by yourself. You get ready to roam the range, so to speak. How is the dating scene, or how do you interact with with gentlemen that's trying to talk to you or holler at you? Or
I really want to know this question.
Yeah.
You really don't want to
You
know.
talked about this all day. You really want to know this question. So he want the tea from y'all. Y'all go ahead and tell him.
Give me the tea.
Who going first? I think Cassie.
This for any of y'all.
Okay, so I know from Winston for our dating scene, it's kind of hard because we're a smaller school.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody done been with everybody.
Okay.
And in college, there's a lot of platforms where people tell this.
Mm-hmm.
And so you may see somebody that you might be feeling, and then you'll go on Instagram and you'll find out that they've been with X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
and you're already just like, ew, that's throwing me off.
Mm-hmm.
It also is a little hard if you have, because some people go to college and they're looking to just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter who it is with, they just want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like me, I got a couple of things that you got to have on your list before I'm just finna even hang out with you, cuz.
Okay.
And it's kind of hard to find those things sometimes because everybody they just want to have fun. And it's really hard to look through those people that just want to have fun and be like, gosh, do you ever sit down? So, it's kind of hard, but, sometimes it's about academics right now for college. That's really what the focus is, because obviously this scene is a little too hard to be weaving and bobbing.
Okay, so ladies, I need somebody else to participate because y'all quiet on that one.
Go ahead.
Somebody need to say so.
I think a lot of people, well, in my school, except for the class of 27, well, I'm class of 26, but it's not important. Class of 27, our class is really, really big, but everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, you be like, no, that's definitely, I was just talking to, you was just talking to me. Oh, okay. It's really easy to find somebody and be like, I talked to so-and-so, and she be like, really? Because he was just, oh my goodness. So, yeah, it's really small.
Yeah, I really think that's everywhere though.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Trying to find somebody who ain't already on somebody else's list.
Yeah. True.
And it got something negative about it.
Correct.
It's terrible.
This is my biggest question. I guess y'all can help out kids in high school finna make that decision. Going to a PWI or HBC, which advice would you give them? Because I got a daughter in high school, so she has to make that decision. But I don't see my youngest child going to HBCU. She's the polar opposite of my other daughter. So what would y'all advise for kids that's on the fence, don't know which school to pick or which way to go? Could y'all give them some kind of advice or some kind of help? If somebody is watching and say, hey, I need to go to, you from Brianna, you went from UNCC, now you're going to A&T. So you might be the perfect one to speak on this. What made you want to change from UNCC to go to A&T?
Okay. Well, I didn't want to regret where I graduated from. And I always expected to be going to HBCU when I was younger. And like I said earlier, I do band. I'm a marching band, I have high step. UNC Charlotte is core style. I knew that wasn't for me. I helped out John C. Smith, for their band. And I was like, okay, I really want to do this. I want to go ahead and travel with band. And I just wanted to make sure, I enjoyed my college years. So many people was telling me their stories. And my freshman year, I was in there sad because I was like, dang, look at my friends having fun. And I was just regretting the choice that I made. Granted, the education was good. I can say that. And I like being at Charlotte, being able to work and stuff. But in the long run, it's not, I didn't want to sit there and constantly think, what if I went here instead? So I was just like, let me go ahead and do it. I'm still going to get my education. Worst case, if I don't enjoy it, then I'll go ahead and transfer back. But I just wanted to go ahead and get the experience and try it out before it was
I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you don't sit there and what if and think about what you should or should not do. Glass half full, empty. You got any other crazy questions you want to ask?
My president ain't crazy. That's a real life.
I mean, listen, man, we talk about this all the time.
Exactly.
But you say here, I ain't think you gonna ask that question really though.
Why not?
I don't know.
You know, you said he talked to his daughter.
Yeah, he's talked. Yeah.
So he had a real question.
Yeah. Like I told Mike, you know, when they go to school or they go to these different places, you got to equip your kids with the proper tools so that they know how to handle, you know, each situation when they come into it. You know, mind you know, they're gonna have different guys trying to talk to them. You know, they're gonna be running the game and this and that.
I think that all go back to parenting.
Parenting, true.
If you teach your kids the right way,
True.
you should be able to. And I had to learn this the hard way. But you know, I had girls, so it's hard to sit there and say, you know, trust me, if you had boys, it might be a little different. But you got girls, and you let them lead the nest, and you can't watch them and protect them like you do at home. Yeah, that first shit was rough for me. I ain't even gonna tell you
just
like
it was rough.
We
making jokes and stuff at work. Just like if you got your daughter right and you sending her off, you know, she drives back and forth to school. It's okay. I'm gonna teach you how to change this tire. I'm gonna teach you how to do this. I'm gonna teach you what to look for, so that she won't have to be dependent on nobody when she gets into those situations. She'll know how to do stuff.
For sure.
Instead of waiting for it's crazy now. These strangers pulling up on your kids. You don't know who pulling up.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part.
Scary part.
You got your kids, especially daughters,
when they go into their cars at night. And even though you're around the school, you don't know. This is a crazy world. Yeah. So that's the craziest part. But you got any other questions before we do part 2? Because I know you got to watch it.
So still got some more time on this one.
Well, go ahead, answer your next question. I asked you questions. Go ahead.
Just like I was saying about the dating stuff. Okay.
So we going back. Boy, here we go again.
The basic questions.
If you go out on a date with a guy, he want to take you out, you know, to dinner or whatever, to a movie, right?
Cause everything my date, bro.
Today's youth generation, they interact different. They mostly text. When we was coming up, we had to talk to people.
We had to go to a payphone.
Ask.
We had to go to a payphone to call somebody.
So it's different now. Can I get your number? Okay, you get the number. They walk off. I'll text you later or something like that. How you gonna get to know somebody if you just text?
I'm talking about
you can't get to know their true feelings.
How you get on the app and you meet somebody like,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I just don't understand that part.
So how does that work?
I think parents definitely have y'all gotta realize that we are communicating differently than it was back in the day. Like I was just having this conversation with my parents last semester. Like my dad was like, "Y'all on a football team? Like you can't just sit and wait after breakfast? Like wait for somebody to come up to you?" Like no, Dad, I can't wait outside the locker room and wait for somebody to walk up to me. Like one, it has to be like organic and genuine, and two, like social media is absolutely changing the way we like communicate to one another. And then at Howard, it's especially difficult because even though, like I said, like the pro is definitely being around people that look like me. It's some other isms in there. So just because I'm not fighting racism, I definitely got colorism, I got elitism. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of other things. So like dudes might not necessarily want to mess with me because of like what I'm wearing or because of what I look like. Maybe my skin tone's not what they used to, or they got athletes, so they used to messing with a different caliber of girl. So it's just a bunch of different like factors you got to consider. So it's not as easy as back in the day in the 90s, you grew up at the speakeasy, walking up. I would love.
So that's what we said, speakeasy?
Wow. I love the speakeasy. I would love
we came in on horses and
you said,
no, like the
we did a no bird and
we're basing our dream love on a different world. We're basing our dream love on a different world. Like that's what we want really bad.
To the saxophonist and
it's like just sitting in the stool and somebody's
ladies. They're not doing that.
They're
not doing that. And then Howard is a public campus too, so like it's dudes in charges waiting outside on the street just revving their engine, and they gonna roll them down and be like, hey, in the gray shorts, sir, why are you catcalling me right now on our public campus? We're security, like it's very different. So it's hard to navigate for sure. And then social media doesn't make it any easier.
It doesn't. It's a lot of expectations that people, both sides give to each other.
Yeah.
And they're just really hard. Or they're things that we can't have at this age, but they're expectations because of somebody else on social media. And then if we come to a relationship and it's not working because the bars are all set way too
goals
high.
are super
like we're not just college kids just trying to get a degree.
All right, so I guess we're gonna nip this one. We're gonna stop, go to part 2. So we'll be back in a few minutes. We're gonna do a part 2 of this. See you in a few minutes or two, please.
Go next.